The band Eddie Van Halen hated touring with. Eddie Van Halen, a name that forever changed the sound of rock guitar. More than a musician, he was a revolutionary, a pioneer who made the impossible seem effortless. His lightning-fast tapping technique, innovative use of harmonics, and explosive energy didn't just inspire guitarists, they redefined what the instrument could do. When Van Halen burst onto the scene in the late 1970s, the rock world had never seen or heard anything quite like it. Their debut album, Van Halen, 1978, hit with the force of a musical earthquake. From the first notes of Runnin' with the Devil to the mind-blowing solo Eruption, Eddie became an instant legend. Even legends like Jimmy Page and Eric Clapton acknowledged Eddie's brilliance. By the early 1980s, Van Halen had become one of the biggest rock acts in the world. He had propelled Van Halen to become one of the world's biggest rock bands. Their albums were selling millions and their live shows were wild, loud, and unforgettable. What could possibly make someone like Eddie Van Halen, one of the greatest guitarists to ever live, actually hate touring with another band? Before Van Halen skyrocketed to fame and Eddie transformed the electric guitar into a tool of groundbreaking artistry, he had one disappointing tour experience that stayed with him. In 1978, Van Halen opened for Journey, a leading arena rock band of that era. Formed in 1973, Journey achieved their greatest commercial success from 1978 to 1987 under lead vocalist Steve Perry. Journey wasn't always the dominant force in album-oriented rock. During much of the mid-70s, fans largely resisted their jazzy style. However, things changed with the release of their powerful album Infinity in 1978 and the arrival of Perry. Being paired with Journey seemed like a good fit for Van Halen, as both bands featured catchy choruses and showcased remarkable guitar talent. Nonetheless, Journey was determined not to let the newcomers overshadow them. Unfortunately, Journey treated Van Halen poorly during the tour, refusing them soundchecks and displaying unkind behavior. Rather than encouraging collaboration, the tour was marked by hostility and unfair treatment. In a 1990s interview with Guitar World, Eddie recalled that Journey wouldn't permit proper soundchecks and often mistreated them. "We used to drive people crazy. Early on, while supporting Journey, they never gave us soundchecks and generally treated us poorly, so we found ways to mess with them." Perhaps Journey felt threatened by the rapidly rising band, but Eddie's extraordinary talent ensured he would not be overshadowed. What are your thoughts? Do you think Eddie had valid reasons for his dislike of touring with Journey? Share your opinions in the comments.